you want any more?
No, just as long as there's a few.
Thing is, all these sessions are horrendous.
Yeah, I know, that's the reason why. It's alright. I don't mind, I'm not in a rush. Well, I kind of am to get it. Get it done with. Did Leo want the Play-Doh back?
No.
No. You're stealing it, are you?
It's red nose though.
Of course it is.
Good thing about this stuff is there's no health and safety indication if you that's meeting.
That's the biggest worry that the PowerPoint won't work, but it's alright.
Pretty lovely around the edges.
Of course, Gareth. What else, you know, would you expect anything less from me? How do you make Play-Doh, Gareth?
I don't know. Take it's just sort of sunflower.
Oh, I thought just science.
I don't actually know.
I think it's
It
flour.
is just flour and water, isn't it?
It's got to be something.
And
that's in there.
colouring.
There's something which is holding it together. It's got to be Where's the container? Where's the minus? How many different languages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 languages. Danger may contain wheat.
So you do have to be careful.
Yeah.
Wheat
Wheat
allergies.
allergies.
Yeah, it's 836.
No, it's more than 9 languages. 19 languages. Yeah, there's nothing else on it. It's not for consumption, we don't have things. Interesting.
I'm finding out now. I'm interested.
Good. That's all right. Good
So we've all learned one new thing. We've all learned one new thing today. What's Play-Doh made out of?
Making such a...
I just got Play-Doh, is it as you would expect?
Play and then D-O. Dash.
On the ground.
D-O-A.
I'll see. It's alright. I'm sure they'll find their way here eventually. Unless they've all decided to go to someone else's session. Blue.
Sorry, they're too big for chairs.
Just go a little about that, it's just how it's done.
Water, salt and wheat flour.
Water,
Salt and wheat flour.
is that all?
It says petroleum
Yeah, there you go.
and makes it smooth.
It's a bit of an oil based thing.
Think we should make a start? You're in there? 3386, yeah. Well, I'll make a start. Mine ends up at one table. I was expecting a few more people, but I'm not quite sure. I might have got lost on the way down the corridor. Today, I'm Athena. I'm an English teacher at Cannons High School, and I've been working on the theme for interdependence in teaching and learning and getting pupils to work constructively with each other, and also this theme of creativity, so pushing the boundaries of current practice, taking creative approaches to learning, engaging pupils more in lessons so they want to come into your classroom. I think that's something we've heard quite a lot throughout today from different speakers about before we've even got the pupils in the door. Hiya,
Sorry.
no, it's fine, come in. So I was just saying that I'm going to be talking to you today about creative interdependence. So this idea of getting students to work in effective partnerships and to be creative with it. And also this idea of relinquishing control in your classroom. So not feeling like you need to be the teacher at the front, controlling everything they do, and then every part of their learning, giving them the autonomy to do that for themselves. So it might be slightly different to some of the presentations you've gone to today. I'm going to actually ask you to be doing quite a lot, and I'm not going to be speaking an awful lot until the end. On the table there's some Play-Doh, and I'd like everyone to just grab a piece of Play-Doh, or in pairs, or in a group. And I want you to mould something that is linked to this idea of magic. So mould something that for you is a representation of magic in Play-Doh. And it can be as weird and obscure as you want it to be, or as traditional and normal as you'd like. You can mix the colours, I really don't.
Don't be ridiculous.
What, just a little bit of pink? Oh.
Finished.
I'm doing the top hat.
That's what I'm doing.
What have you got? What have you got, Sarah? Question mark. Nice.
Magic, how'd you do it?
I love it.
Okay. So make it big. Thanks.
Why is it so taxing?
Because I want to look nice.
Well, about the content, though, isn't it?
Okay, well I've literally just created a ball and I've mixed two colours, and I think that for me that's some magic in the classroom, that you can have a mix of ideas, a mix of students, a mix of subjects, a mix of teaching styles and techniques. But that's because I'm talking to you about pedagogy today. What sort of things, what have you got, Tom?
I've tried to do a top hat, one with the farmer's hat, and a magic one.
Okay, Dara?
I've got a question mark, just a big question mark as to how did they do that?
Taro. Nice.
Try some star.
Star.
I've got a computer because I think technology is pretty magical.
Nice, I like that.
I've got a top hat.
Okay, top hat, guys. This side, a rabbit. I
No,
like
I
that.
couldn't do the rabbit.
Put in a
Very
rabbit.
bad.
We've got a hat, so
Another hat, yeah.
another hat.
I've got a rabbit in a
Hey!
I've got a flower for the magic of nature.
Lovely.
Really bad spider's web.
I
Oh.
like that.
I've got a magician with a magic
Oh,
wand.
I like that. Okay. Well, that was just kind of something to get you started, to get you thinking about this idea of creativity. But actually today, the activity that we're going to do is an activity called Trajan's Column. So actually, what I need you to do is to clear the table and move the chairs back, so you're just stood around the table and put you all sitting there.
No.
I know. Give it to those kids that are really fidgety, that you need to kind of grab. I don't mind, Grace.
Cheers, mate. That's all you.
Whichever way you like. The other way up. You're in charge. It's your column. Okay, so this is a Trajan's Column activity, which I'm not going to admit to coming up with myself because I didn't. I stole it from Fergus Hegarty up in Cramlington in Newcastle, and I could do this either with one group, so you could all do one columns activity, but I want to see how it works with two teams working. you're going to have 15 minutes for this activity. Everything you need is at this front desk here. I might move into the middle to make it a bit fair. And on the top of your column. And all I'm going to say to you for the time being is, your time starts now.
Is it competition? Yeah.
Rearrange the structure into the correct
So you've got tail, normal hotel, and then that's basic structure. Trickery works for one of the characters. Hero returns home and then.
Since we can't all take part.
Sorry.
No, it's the way we are split the task. We have to do the rest. Rearrange the pair of those that one. And recreate fairy tale.
That was nothing to do with it.
You got too excited, I think.
I thought this was an inside trick.
That's the fairy tale. So this
This is the Jack
Jack and Beanstalk story.
Yeah.
So this just says hero is branded.
I'm not there.
Yeah, I think we do, yeah.
Should we do it down the table? So
Yeah. They're climbing up the beam, telling him to climb up the beam. That must be before.
is that before it?
Yeah, this is before again.
So is that before what you put before? You're going to mean you saw that would be. If you said 3 went into okay, so that's him.
He traded it in for the cow.
So that's right at the top.
Yeah.
Because you look creepy, you sold it.
And that's at the top.
Crazy boys, you're going to mean.
That's not right, yeah. So that must be right at the
By
top.
a pound, so that's right at the top.
We have to wait till they've done that
after
one.
the don't over pound.
That's the bean sprouting.
That's the bean sprouting, so that's somewhere.
Everything that goes on top now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take the plate out and the balance it on top.
On top of the concrete, down to the
This is the story.
But do it for that.
So he climbed up and sort of there.
somehow it's attached to.
Yeah, so
These are harder.
Oh no, when he went for a bath, that's somewhere after he's been at the thing once, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Create an object which represents what was displayed in the plan.
Yeah, that would be.
That's when it's been up one. Down. What's this then about?
Displayed around.
That's right.
We have to match these up. So we've got to create something that we can
Do you want me to give you a green card?
Yeah, that's right.
When he's there's something about gold, seeing gold up there.
Yeah.
You know what it's like.
There's everything up there, gold. One of them.
That's
He's not sure if got it right. We need to confirm these.
Where is it? That's one of them says that everything up there was gold or something.
What we began, so you're happy that we begin with that?
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
here, is it?
It's about following the structure.
Yeah, this says everything's gold.
Yeah, great.
That's okay. Surprisingly. A warning was made about what should or should not be done. Right, sold odd days of coffee.
Yeah, they do. 'Cause there's also over there, right?
Those two must go like that.
You weren't sure about the order, so
Yeah.
if you're happy with yours, okay.
After.
What he basically said is sell the cow for loss and they come back and that's what really super trading.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that says the other thing. And then he goes back to
Yeah,
the
it's
basics
the
of
same
it.
structure.
Yeah.
Just
Can they go there?
I think I've done blue stuff in
Right.
the order.
Well,
I
no,
think
I'm going to have to
Rearrange the
I'm not
fairy
sure about
tale
this
of Jack and
exactly
Beanstalk.
this area. I think that's fine, but this bit here.
What we could do is
When he comes, Jack was watching, Jack was clicking down, so he's gone up the thing, Jack was fighting, Jack was calling him down, he came, Mummy said, clever nose, his mother hits, you must be going around the trees, can you smell?
Was our time off the long time of travel?
No, you're
Let's count that.
He goes up the bean scale, doesn't he?
You've got to stop now.
They've got 10 seconds.
We're finished. Oh, there. Oh, no, still got this.
Just a little, but it's good.
Probably time to stop.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop cooking.
Okay, wherever you're up to, just take. Well, if you want to have a look at each other's Trajan's columns, go for it.
Yeah, see, they did it right.
What is that? One says up and one says down.
I like the top. I do like the top. It has impact. But ours has a butt.
I call it gold.
It's very, yeah, I'm not surprised. It's hard to get matching. Yeah. We've got connectivity.
Yeah.
One of the things that was really interesting observing that was the way the two different groups approached the task in a completely different way. And also the issues that both tasks had with interpreting the instructions. So there's a lot of, do we have to do this? Can we do it this way? You know, you said the story goes up the column, but you want the structure going down, or you know. And actually, my question. There's a few questions in terms of, did the fairy tale match up with the structure? Did you find that you could get the fairy tale to match up with the structure? Not easily, no. Did you guys try to match?
On the sheet it said one had to go up and the other went down. It did, if you look.
They have different instructions. You have exactly the same instructions, just the way you interpreted them.
I didn't even notice.
Recreate the fairy tale going up the column and then down the side of the column, display the structure.
Yeah, but down one side just means...
Starting from the top, going down the side. Not up the side. Up the side or down the side? Up the side or down the side?
But a pole doesn't have a side.
No.
A column has a top and bottom. It does have a side.
It's got a lot of sides. It's down one side.
It has three sides, a top, a bottom and an out. And the outside.
Okay, I'm going to stop
Say
you
your point.
there.
It has sides.
To be fair,
It has one.
in this activity, you know, I've used it today more to show you the process of the Trajan's column activity rather than the content itself. But even so, I don't think that just because they don't match up, it's not a valid activity. You know, if you were doing something, and I'm an English teacher, if I was doing something with like a structure of a fairy tale, the point is that even though we have these outlines, these structures for perfect answers for exemplars, very rarely do we conform to this. We can always adapt it and change it and make something even better. I've used Roald Dahl's version of the fairy tale because I think it's so much better than, you know, a standard version. But I could have done it differently. I could have not given you a fairy tale at all. I could have said, you choose a fairy tale in your group. That might have changed, you know, the activity completely, because you would have then had to have that discussion with the people in your group about what fairy tale you choose. Can I find a fairy tale that's going to conform to this structure? But for me, it's the idea of this interdependence, this getting people to work together. And I've done it in groups, in small groups like this, and I've actually done it with a whole class, and they've worked around one column. And it can be used in so many different ways. And what I just wanted to show you and get you to think about was how this could be used as part of your own pedagogy, and how it can be changed, you know, and altered and adapted for your own subject. And before I give you some time, if you have any questions or to talk about it, I just wanted to show you some of the examples where I've done this. So the first time I did it was in an inset at school on Romeo and Juliet, and they had a similarly quite challenging task. And actually, all of the males in the group migrated to making an object for the top, while all the females who were, you know, a bit more confident with the topic and with the subject worked on linking the events of the play with the quotations. And actually, at the end of the session, that's what they produced, which, you know, in 15 minutes is quite impressive. And again, I tried it with my Year 11s. Now I teach 2 Year 11 groups, a top set and a CD borderline class. And we did this on the same day. And they did it on an inspector calls. And this is my top set, 2 Trajan's columns. And actually, then my bottom, or my middle set, sorry, created 2 completely different, and in some ways much more creative columns. And they really enjoyed the activity, they really enjoyed the task, and they worked really well. And the one thing that they said to me when they finished was, "Miss, it's such a different way of learning, such a more practical